nature oozes out of the countryside. Sometimes you can't see it because you don't know where to look. You see the big arable field, but if you go around the edge of it, if it's managed well, like these fields are here, you can have an edge where it can be absolutely teeming with wildlife. My name's Dominic Gardner, and I'm a director of the Arun to Adur Farmers Group. We're a collection of farmers in West Sussex, based around Arundel and Worthing, and we farm over 25,000 acres, which is 25,000 football pitches worth, where we're dedicated to production and conservation. The landscape around here has been farmed for over 5,000 years, but our focus now becomes more and more as climate change develops into how we can conserve this environment for future generations, while at the same time producing high quality food to feed the growing world population. To the north of us over this side, we're trying to reintroduce the curlew as part of a project run by the Duke of Norfolk, a really exciting project to bring a bird that hasn't been seen on these downs for 25, 30 years. On other places, people are trying to grow crops that they haven't grown before. People are trying to see more hares, more corn buntings, more skylarks, all these things. Everybody has a passion, and by working as a group, you can learn about your passion from others and learn how to make it a better place on your farm for that particular individual species. Going on this journey of identifying areas that are able to produce crops economically, we're able to re-nature bits that are not viable to farm. And by doing that, we can actually increase our overall profitability of the business. It's not a solution for everyone, but it works for us. And there's nothing better than coming out and seeing some of the beautiful nature, seeing the birds, seeing the insects, seeing the bees, and just seeing something that you haven't seen before. We've just driven up here this morning, we've just seen some pyramid orchids, beautiful plants that wouldn't be there if it wasn't for farming. We look at the diversity, you can see behind me now, there's a range of crops. We don't grow the same crop in the same place each year, we grow a different crop each year, and some years we don't grow a crop at all. We actually have it as a fallow. We let Mother Nature re-nature that field for a year, let it redevelop, and our yields and our profitability are good coming off the back of having an active soil, a soil that we're managing for generations into the future. We don't see 50 harvests in this land, we want to see another 1,000 years of production on this farm.
I'm Harriott, and I am a director of the Arun to Adur Cluster Group. So this is Lichpole Farm, and it's a beautiful farm that we're very fortunate to have been tenant farmers for the last 18 years. When we first took on the farm, it had been mainly arable for several years, and all the goodness had been taken out of the soil, and we wanted to put some heart back into the soil. And the way to do that on a farm is to bring in your natural fertilising animals, your cattle and your sheep, your golden hooves. So we introduced the cattle and sheep to the farm, we fenced the fields and made them a lot smaller so that we could manage them a lot better, and by doing that we've increased the organic matter in the soil, we've increased the number of worms, which are our 24/7 eco-warriors that are recycling the organic matter and aerating the soil. So we've improved the soil, which is our base. We felt the benefits to the birds by putting in plots of wild birdseed mixes, fallow plots for rare birds that visit the South Downs, and we planted trees, we planted lots of hedges, which are the corridors for the wildlife, but they're also protection for the animals as well. There are areas on this farm that aren't productive. We want to grow on the productive ground, but around the edges and on the areas which aren't so productive, we want to be really environmentally friendly. And I think the Arun to Adur Cluster Group is a great example of how that can be achieved.